I am Sepko. I've been here for, I think, 15 years. I'm proud to say that I'm usually at the top of the leaderboard, if you will. So I'm glad I get to teach what I do every day, what I help the people, what I teach the people that I coach to do. I've learned this from a coach that I had years ago and have implemented it every day since we parted ways. And I really do believe that having systems like this is how you will be able to maintain your business, grow your business, sell your business one day, whatever you choose to do. So, classes, they asked me to teach about follow-up. And as I was going through all of this, I realized that you can't really teach follow-up unless you have a system to follow up with. So part of the class is going to be about like a touch system, how to get your database ready to implement the follow-up program. So, because I could jump right into follow-up, but you're going to be like, well, how do I know that I called them last time? Or how did I know that I contacted them or whatever? So, some of this may be, if you've had coaching before, some people may do this. I know that there's people in here that know this program. So some of it will be repeats to them, but you know what? You can always learn something new every time you take a class. So here we go. We're going to start with the touch, the touch system part, and then we're going to go into the follow-up to the touch. Full disclosure, I'm not good at this. If you see misspelled words, please tell me, because they're usually in here. So, okay, here we go. A systematic touch program is essential to running your business effectively. And if you see, look, did anybody catch that? I didn't even see that. Effectively and efficiently, right? That is efficiently and effectively. I'm sorry. I see the F's and the I's and all that. Okay, so good. That's not a mistake. Okay, we're going to be talking about a 56 touch program or more and how to follow up on that. The 56 touch is the minimum that you would do. Anything over and above that you choose to add to your system will just be more than 56 touches in a year to one person. Okay, and the essential part about having this is that you will always be top of mind to anybody that's in your database. And I'll just tell a quick story about somebody that I was coaching with this morning, that she went into her office and a client was walking in as she was walking out as she was walking in. And she's like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? And she said, oh, I just came into the office to see about listing my house. And it was her client from 4 years ago. Oh, and so she went into the office to the person at the front desk and asked about getting help for listing their house. And so this person said, she said, I went in here. She goes, well, why didn't you ask me? And she goes, well, the person inside asked me if I was working with anybody. And she said, no, because this person, the person I was talking to this morning, I was coaching, wasn't following up, hasn't talked to her in years. And the ladies, the seller's interpretation of that is like, I didn't sign a listing agreement. I haven't talked to anybody recently. So that agent was not top of mind. It was like, I haven't talked to you in 4 years. You haven't reached back out to me. I need to sell my house. And so they went into the office and they distributed that to somebody else. So that is the importance. That just happened this morning. And I said, you're not going to believe this. I'm teaching a class today on follow-up. And I'm going to use you as an example. So anyway, I told her it was not going to be on Zoom. So she's probably not going to listen, even though she's not in this office. But okay, so there's that. Here's what we're going to learn today. This was all in the PowerPoint. We're going to get to almost all of it. Again, we only have an hour. I was hoping to get to some scripts. We may get into some of that about following up and some scripts to use. If we run out of time, that will be what we can just talk about real quick after. But other than that, we're going to hit on all of these points today. So here we go. Let's do this. All right. So the reason you want to have a follow-up program and a touch program is just for the reason that I talked to you a minute ago about, was you want to be top of mind. Every single agent out there wants market share. They are going to take it from you. There are very aggressive agents out there. There's a lot of new agents that are just, they're trying to find business. You have to be top of mind with your clients all the time, or somebody's gonna find them. And there was something, I just heard this about, from Gary Keller, Murray, on page 142. This is what he said. This is about lead generation, which is about your system. The best approach to lead generation is all set up in the model that you systematically execute. Once you've got the model, your entire focus becomes implementing the model. A series of systems you can follow will make this quite simple for you to do. You just need to do it. So that is all he talks about, is having the models and having the systems. And once you get that in place, it's easy after that. You just have to have a systematic way of doing it. So here are the clients we're going to be talking about today. Okay. These are the people that are in your database that you will be following up with on a consistent basis. People call them different things. So if you see the slash, that's what that means. So PCSY or METs, or you could call them your A, Bs, and Cs. Some people do this. If you're like the Buffini people, they do them A, B, Cs. Levels, you can do them by 1 through 10, and I'll explain that in a second. You have suspects in your database and people you haven't met. They could be your Cs if you're doing the ABC. Advocates, you have those people. Those are the people that love you, know you, give you business, give you referrals. These are the people that you're going to love on, and there's a touch program for them. Referrals, of course, you have a farm area. If you're a farmer, we'll talk about that. That is the most expensive lead generation form. That is the hardest to follow up on, but there's a plan for that in here. There's a budget, there's all that. A, Bs, and Cs, again, that's the level of your tracking of your clients. A being the most ready to transact, C down the road. Levels is a new way I've learned about doing this, and the levels are based on 1 through 10 by month. So you could label your clients, client number 1, client number 5, client number 10, and that is the months away that they're going to transact. So with that, you will know on a schedule based on their number when you should be following up with them. So you could label your database that way. There's no right or wrong way on how to label your database, but you have to be able to tag them. Everybody know how to do that, to tag the database? I mean, if you're not using command, I think most CRMs use different ways to tag.
Do you use command?
I do use command. Yes. So if everybody knows what tagging is, your clients need to be tagged with this one way or the other. If they're not, this is the first thing you need to be doing right here. Okay. So then we are going to go over here. This just talks about starting your follow-up system, implementing the 56 touch to your database. Without a system, you're not running in a real estate business like you should be. Without a system, I think it's been proven somewhere, I don't know. You feel like you're busier, you're more tired, you're more frustrated, you have less business, you have less clients when you don't have a system and a follow-up program behind it. You may go through your day and you're like, oh my gosh, I was so busy. It was all over the place. It's probably because you don't have this. You don't have a system, and so you're exhausted by the end of the day because your head is in a million different directions. That's not how we should be running our business. So, and then be the realtor of choice. Okay, so Bob, you probably know some of this. I'm excited that you're in this class.
You're good at this.
So, okay.
You're way better than I am.
So here's where we'll start with the systems, okay? And then, like I said, we'll go through all of these and then follow up with the follow-up program. All of these are going to be listed from what is the least to most expensive, okay? So we will start with all the things that are free. Some of this you're going to know it, but you'll see the plans behind it and when you should be doing it, okay? Again, this is just what I do. This is what I help the people I do. You can do whatever you want in your world, but you're here, I guess, to learn something new. Okay, so we know that the phone calls are top priority. If you have your database tagged the right way, okay, with your sphere of influence, your METs, your ABCs, however you choose to do it, we know that we should be talking to them once a quarter. This is the DTD2. If you're on the DTD2 plan, this is once a quarter, okay? So you set yourself up on that with programs with reminders of when you should be calling them. I tend to like to do them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is my cutoff date. If I have not completed that by Wednesday, then I'm way behind. That's my plan. Some people like to do 5 a day, depending on the size of your database, 10 a day, whatever, Monday, whatever you want to do, but you know that you should be calling those people. So we know that that's free. You should be doing birthday calls, you should be doing anniversary calls, referral calls, those are all free. Okay, and there's your referrals over there. Treat these like VIPs, send them, thank you, referral, a progress call, and then a handwritten note, all free, except the handwritten note. If you follow this just alone, you're at 6 to 10 touches over here. It'll accumulate as you'll see as you go, how many touches you're including in your database program, on your touch program. So just the minimum is 6. Anything above would be 10, okay?
Are you sharing the slide, the PowerPoint slide?
I can. We'll get with Leah. She's good at that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, we all know about social media engagement. All free, unless you're doing something paid. Melissa, you were doing something paid earlier. I don't know what that was about, but all of this is free. Have a system to this. If you're like me and you do not like social media whatsoever, you have to have a plan or you're not going to go on and do it. But this is so important. So have a 5 by 5 by 5 or a 10 by 10 by 10. How much you love in social media is what you want to include in your world. So that would be 5 likes, 5 comments, 5 posts per week. Add video in there, it's even better. But I don't require everybody to do video. And please stop me if y'all have anything, because I can fly through this. Okay, so follow-up rule through DTD2 with social media is that you have I forgot I can look back here. You have a section on your DTD2 where you can go to your platform messaging and you should be contacting those letters through social media messaging. That's Instagram, that is Facebook, that's LinkedIn, whatever platform you engage with the most and have the most people, you should be reaching out to them. So if it is TNJ, yeah.
When you say messaging through the social media, do you mean like say hello on their Facebook page or send them something in Messenger?
In Messenger.
Okay, thank you.
Every time I do that, I get more interaction than I do through text messaging.
Okay.
Because people don't get a lot of messages through Messenger. Do you get a lot of messages through Messenger?
No, but the ones I send, sometimes I don't seem to get responses to. I get, yeah, I will. I'll keep doing that.
Yeah, keep trying it.
Yeah.
Like if I do a birthday text and a birthday through Messenger, I get more response out of Messenger.
Interesting.
And I guess it's just because people don't communicate through
You're
Messenger.
talking about private message.
Private message.
Yeah,
Yeah,
DM.
DMs.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Me. I would do slide into my DM or whatever. I think that's not supposed to be talked about anymore or something. So that would be through any platform that you're most engaged with. Like, I don't do Instagram. I don't like it. I don't understand it, but because I'm old. So social media, I mean, Facebook is where I would go in and send all mine.
Okay,
But you can do it through LinkedIn or any of them. So it's totally free to do this. If you follow the DTD2 system, and like this week, the calls are at our TNJ, then on that week that it fell within messaging, you are going through all your letters of TNJ and you're sending them a message through social media. Okay, so it's systematic. You're not just randomly whatever. You're doing this every single quarter around, okay? 3. So if we're adding this, just a minimum of 1 contact 4 times a year, we're now with it's accumulating, it's 10 to 14 touches, all free, okay? Here we go. What you could do is email programs, okay? The people that I help, we're supposed to be doing this twice a month. We do this on the 7th and the 21st of the month, keeping it systematic. You know it's coming, you have a plan, you get ready for it. So if you do yours twice a month, again, it's we'll go back through the times you're supposed to call people, but it's all strategically set that 1 week you have a task for all these one-offs, like the emails. So what type of emails do you think should be sent? Anything?
I send the most random things, so yeah,
Okay,
like spring flowers or spring this, or if I saw Stacy DeRogatis taught me, if you think of anything that reminds you of somebody, like send them immediately, like something you see posted, just random. But maybe
so
that's not good.
then it's not systematic,
No, it's not.
right?
It's
So if
very, yeah, you're right.
So what, part of the reason you want this to be this way, and you want all this running in the background, is that you can schedule this out, knowing that if you send it on the 7th, you can schedule it, you're going on vacation, it's already done the week before,
Yeah.
you can set it to go on the 7th, and you don't have to worry about it. It's not random. That's what we don't want in our businesses. That makes us too crazy.
Okay.
We don't
Are you
want-
calling me crazy?
So-
Just kidding.
So I went to a bunch of social media classes at Family Reunion,
Mhm.
and they said both things.
Okay.
Systematize it that's what I need to do,
Mhm.
because it would be really nice if I could just count on those going out. But then they also said that, one of the guys was up there and he was kind of going, yeah, now it's time to clean your house. Now it's time to do spring cleaning, so that's the kind of stuff that you do systematically. But you do the random stuff that's thoughtful, that's, like provoking, or just something that reminds you of somebody, just
You're right.
when you can. But
So
it's
instead
in
of my
addition,
Facebook post,
it's in addition to
the
that.
emails.
Oh, okay, so this is more like newsletters. These are
Okay.
more like not, so glad you have a new baby, congratulations email. No, this is a more systematic newsletter that's going to your database, your PCSY, your METs, your A's, whatever, however you tag them, the people that are important to you. It's all free, so you're not spending money on them. Anybody that you have an email address for should be getting this. So a newsletter that gets the most response has like the 3 to 4 buckets. It's a business related one, it's a community related one, and you got personal stuff in there, and it's usually about your business, your listings, or something you've done. Those 4 buckets. So if your templates are all the same, your 4 buckets are the only thing that changes every month. I do mine custom. I don't do it through command. They have plenty. Their marketing stuff or whatever they call it. Justin, don't be mad at me for not knowing what they call that. Designs. They're getting better and better. So you could totally use those, but I like my pink flowers,
But you can
fluffiness.
integrate Canva into that as well.
Okay.
Two designs now, so don't be scared.
call that
Can you
person.
do,
Oh, wow.
can you do Adobe Express?
Oh, I didn't know. you
I'm
could
just
do
curious, because you can,
But I don't.
I'll ask you later. Because I've done that, but I can't.
Yes.
No, this is engagement. I don't want to sit up here and talk for an hour. I have my teeth pulled on Monday night and it's hard to talk anyway. I can't move my mouth very far. So engage, please. You don't want to hear me talk for an hour. However you want to do your emails, they just get them out, be top of mind. There's Ann again, she's sending me stuff. Whether or not it is important to them, they see me. They see me. I did a giveaway in my 7th email that went out this time. I was doing a giveaway for a spring doormat. All you had to do was respond and say, hey. And that's all you had to do and you're registered. So it's getting engagement. People are listening. They're reading it. I know they're reading it. So if you can do that twice a month, that's great. If you're taking baby steps and you just need to get one out, do the neighborhood nurture. Some people do a custom email. And because they don't have like the leverage of marketing or anything like that, they'll do a custom email and then they'll do the neighborhood nurture. Do they still call it that?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And I promise I'm not making this.
You're
But
gonna
listen,
have to
there
sit
is
in the front
a,
row.
we're gonna talk about the Scott Leroy thing next week.
Oh, yeah, so that.
Y'all, there's an email, don't overthink this. Anna's coached me, but don't overthink this, y'all. And they will do it for you, that you're already paying for. If you're having trouble coming up with stuff, things will go out. And it's just being in front of them.
That's all it
The
is.
chances of them reading every word of your email are very slim anyway. So it's just getting your name out there. Literally, mine went out today. I just got a response. I love getting these emails.
Awesome.
By the way, I'm about to list my property
Awesome.
and I need to talk to you about it. So
I saw your email.
That's great.
Yes.
Anyway. Usually the people in my emails, they read the top thing and they read the bottom thing, which is where what listings are you doing the business? And we're just sold or under contract or coming soon or whatever, and then they read the top part. Some of the stuff in the middle, the fluffy stuff, they don't read, but it's okay. It's okay. You're top of mind. That's all it is. So you could do that for free. That's twice a month. It's best to do it on the 7th. Again, my plan, you put it, what you want to do on the 7th and the 21st. Okay, handwritten notes, we know the importance of that. Any notes that you can do, great. This is such a good way to follow up with people when you send them a handwritten note. Because usually they will bring up the content of your note when you follow up with them before you have to follow up on your own note. So that 78 cents is the postage, right? God bless you. And then the follow-up program, or the DTD program has, I didn't bring one of my cards. I have it up in my office. If you're following the DTD program, DTD2, with the handwritten notes section in it, you will know that you're systematically doing that. I use the postcards for that because it's cheaper. I have seasonal postcards made up for each season. And so when that quarter comes around, then you just mail out for the season. How's it
Are
going?
you using like AM cards or something like that with
No,
that?
I went
You just do
to,
it yourself?
the little printer up here behind, Baking Grounds. Super fast, super cheap.
Do you sign them or write anything
Yeah.
on them? Okay.
All I do is say, hi, happy
Okay, yeah.
spring, and, because the front says,
Yeah.
enjoy the spring, flowers are coming or whatever. But the cards were cheap, the postage is cheaper, and when you're handwriting, you're following your DTD2, it's just a little bit more efficient than stuffing them and licking them or whatever. Okay, and so there's just some reason or ways to be sending notes, referrals, thank yous, home anniversaries, graduation. If you did one per quarter, your DTD2 touches now are up to 40 to 44. Because that includes your 2 emails a month. So you had what you did before with your calls, now emails, now your handwritten notes. So you see how fast this can jump up and being top of mind if you follow what they're doing. Okay, mailings. So once a month, I'm saying this is the coaching group. We're supposed to be, how about that word? Mailing a mail piece once a month. That's on the 15th. So that is to your PCSOIs, to your Mets or whoever. This is a mail piece, once a quarter, a mail piece should go out with an item of value in it. So this, and usually I try to keep it between this price per quarter, okay? So that could be seeds, that could be a calendar, that could be, like my lottery tickets are going out at the end of the month. That one's gonna be a little bit more than $1.80, but
Well, you say once a month, now you're saying once a quarter, which one is it?
once a month, the mail piece goes out.
Right, well.
So, okay. Let me finish. Don't let me smile, I don't have a tooth back there. Once a month,
Yeah.
a mail piece goes out. Just remember that, okay?
Right.
Okay, so this is all about
Put a
budgets too.
stamp on it and send
This
it.
is all about budgets too, because if you don't have the budget, we don't do the item of value. But once a quarter, one of those meal pieces will be an item of value. So you'd have 4 regulars and 1 item of value. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah,
So that's once a month, but 1 will be an item of value. Plan it out. Look at the calendar. I already knew that my item of value for quarter 1 was gonna be the lottery ticket, because I've done it for years. Go into quarter number 2, you got spring, you got summer, whatever. When I was coaching somebody, they were able to find a bunch of, cute little, sunscreens, and you can mail them, because they were in those little packets, kind of like,
That's cool.
whatever. And she did the cutest little thing about getting ready for summer and poolside or something, and it had the little sunscreens in it. So it cost her like 25 cents a sunscreen.
There's a really cool Facebook site called Pop by Realtors,
That's
and
great
they have
ideas.
the
Yeah.
greatest stuff. I like do my whole year.
And this should not be
Where-
expensive,
It's
y'all.
on
Facebook
Facebook,
group?
Pop by for Realtors, amazing.
Try to keep it under like $2, because your PCSOI can get big. If you got a big database, you don't want to spend $1 million on this, because it's only once a quarter, but don't go crazy. Okay, so if you're a farmer, they're not getting this. We don't mail anything to the farm. This is just PCSOI for people you know, okay? Have a marketing calendar. plan this stuff out in advance. My whole year is already planned for every client event, every email that I'm sending out, the content anyway, for every email I want to send, for every item of value. It's already gone. So I have a thing in my calendar on the 15th of the month before. It says check marketing calendar for next month. So then I can prepare for what I'm going to be doing in April. So on the 15th of March, it's going to say check marketing calendar for next month. So whatever I have on my marketing calendar for April, I will already be ready to go. It's not scrambling at the end saying, oh my gosh, I forgot about the lottery tickets. I already knew in February that the lottery tickets needed to go out in March. So I'm not like freaking out and trying to get it all done. We don't have enough time for that. Okay, so have a marketing calendar, have it by email, have it by mailer, have it by newsletter, whatever, client event that you want to do. Okay. So these are the just listed, just sold. If you're a farmer, they will get one card a month to a farm. I farm for years. I will not stop doing it. This is the most expensive way to lead generate and then the hardest way to follow up after that. So it can be anywhere, depending on what you're sending to your farm, between 78 and $1.80. If you're using a company like Vistaprint or something like that to do your cards.
Okay, so you're not doing every door direct.
I'm not doing every door
Are
direct.
you using the bigger cards or smaller
Yes.
cards?
Smaller, I should have brought it, should have brought show
Small.
and tell, I forgot. All upstairs. The bigger cards, first
Right.
class,
And
with
then you
their
do
names
just
on the back.
listed and just sold and everything?
just listed, just sold. Sometimes the farm can get 4 cards if I have a good just listing month and just sold. Or they get a regular piece of mail. They will always get a mail of some sort.
So they're not made up in advance. You call the company and say, I need this sent out and just listed.
Their turnaround is probably 4 or 5 days.
Who are you using?
Vistaprint.
Vistaprint, okay.
Yeah. And they're
I didn't know they did
really cheap and they turn those around very quickly. So, and they mail them for you. You just upload the address. Are they gonna be talking about this in the John Lewis Maxwell's
No.
class?
For, especially for the newer agents, where you're getting the addresses from where and how are you getting them to Vistaprint? What does that step look like?
Okay, they are downloaded from Command and uploaded to Vistaprint.
So
And I-
you've preloaded your farm people into Command and tag them as farm or Wildwood or whatever.
Farm, oh, so sorry, I'm different. That is for the mailing. For farm, I go into prospecting and CRS,
That's what-
Georgia MLS, sorry, yes. And I update it twice a year.
Okay, explain that.
Okay,
You're just going into the tax records?
yes,
Okay,
under the
okay.
prospecting,
Right, and you're using like for a subdivision or something?
right, because I have 4
Okay, got it.
subdivisions
Got it.
that I farmed, so I can pick the 4 subdivisions. And it will generate the new addresses. But again, I only do it, but it says also current resident, so if somebody moved within that 6 months,
Right.
it'll still go to them, but their address, their names are on the back.
Cool. Right.
Okay, does everybody know how to do that? The CRS prospecting tool. There's half yeses and half nos. I can help you with that. Okay, so we're up to 52 to 56 touches. This is a program that will work for you if you implement this, okay? Back in the day when I first started, it was 36. It was 36 touch, but I think it was because you didn't have social media and all of that we don't have today. We didn't have back then. Okay. So pop buys, this is something good. Again, we're getting more expensive. This is where your budget allows. So if you were to do a pop buy, you would do it once per quarter, and these are to your advocates. And again, we said the advocates are the people that know and love you, the people that give you referrals, the people that bought and sold houses from you, people that come to your client events. These are the pop buys, and you can also do pop buys for referral gifts too. If you can plan this out on your marketing calendar, you're not always gonna know when your referrals will come in for referrals, but you always know when your pop buys will be. Because if you're doing it once per quarter, you already set the month that you want to do it. Do it like an opposite month of when you're going to do your item of value. So, but think about it. Think about what you want to start looking for when they start bringing all the stuff into the dollar store. I did hummingbird feeders one year and they were $1.25. And they
Dollar
were so
Tree.
cute. You wrapped them in cellophane. It was adorable. What?
Dollar Tree is like the best.
It's the best for stuff like this. But if you have a plan of when you know you want to send it, you can start thinking ahead and gathering the pieces and parts to it, so you're not scrambling at the end to do it. Okay, so I try to not to do anything over $10. 5 is about where it goes if you have the wrapping and all this, but it shouldn't be elaborate. All it is a sweet little thank you to your database.
Even on your referral gifts?
No, that's different.
Okay.
I do a little bit more than that,
Okay.
but
You're forgetting
I was
that,
I wanted to know what you're doing for 5 or 10. Okay. What's that? Referral gift for 5 or 10, I want to know what you're.
oh, no, I don't do that. I have referrals in another section, but like, not everybody gets a ton of referrals to include it in a whole system like this.
forgetting the most important part about drop-bys.
What's that?
Do it at work.
Leave your car running and leave the car door open.
Okay.
Take them to their work, because I have a
So that way-
pharmacist client and I've gotten like 10 referrals
Yeah,
from him.
that's a
just
good
because
thing.
of
That's
them.
a good thing to do, is take it to their offices. So they're, oh my God, I gotta do that. Why do you think I made that? Okay, the last and the most expensive, of course, if you can add it to your calendar, add it to your budget, is client events. There are so many touch points behind client events. Y'all are, a lot of y'all on coaching and stuff, you know this. I mean, you have 3 different touches, if not more, with a client event. I encourage people to do at least 3 per year. So you get spring, summer, fall, Christmas, whatever. Whatever your budget allows, try to get maybe with agent friends, split it, do something like that, to get that on the calendar, so that your clients know that you're doing, things to give back to them. So that could run anywhere from 150 to 500 based on what you do, or more. I mean, it could be a lot more depending on what you want to
Cost
do.
$150 for a client event.
Well, you go in with agents and you split the cost.
What are yours?
Can I add to that?
100%.
So for a lot of events, for newer agents, when your budget is tight,
Mhm.
piggyback on big events that are going around in the community. Like just say, hey, meet me at the wine festival or at the beer festival,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like meet me here at 2:00. Would love to say hello and have a
Right.
special gift for you or
Right.
something. Like you could use all their marketing.
I think somebody's done that like at the, like the corn maze.
Yeah.
They'll like meet me outside and I'll buy you a ticket. So it's not really an event, but they're meeting them there, saying, hey, whatever.
Amy's doing it right now for the beer festival.
That's
FaceTime.
great.
Giving away tickets for the beer
Oh,
festival.
I'll be volunteering.
Volunteering.
I am. It's a good time. If you
Saturday?
ever want to volunteer for something fun, you should go volunteer for that.
Fun on
I
Saturday.
know the rain looks like it's gonna be nasty. Okay,
Bummer.
so, there you go. So you're up to almost 50 touches if you include all this. Again, this is optional based on budget, based on time, based on your bandwidth of doing this. Okay, this is just a recap of budgets. This is a little bit like what my budgets look like. Again, I do the farm cards. It costs me about $9,000 a year to do that. $750 a month. That is 900, and I looked yesterday, 929 people in my farm. So it's really not bad to hit up 900 people. I usually get a call off of every single card I send. Every single card I send, I will get a call.
So I want to clarify,
Yeah.
that is what you're doing on the just listed, just sold.
Yes,
Okay.
just a farm.
And you have that already, that geographic area, that
Yes.
probably includes wild timber and.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
got it.
And I've done it for so long, I'm afraid not to do it anymore.
I mean, it's paying off.
So that's just kind of an idea of what it would cost if whatever you wanted to include in your business. Okay. So, okay, now that we have a systematic touch program, let's talk about the follow-up part. So, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to zip through this. Okay, here's some fun facts right here about sales statistics and why the follow-up is so important. Okay, 40% of people, salespeople, they never follow up. Never follow up. 25% of people make 2 contacts, then they stop following up. This has to do with people that aren't responding to you. This has to do with cold calls or web leads or whatever. I mean, I can say that I'm probably about here if I get like a third party call, like through Home Light or something. I try 2, maybe 3 times and then I stop. So I need to read the own statistics here. But that's not where that's not where my business comes from. But if I get one, it's random, cool. 12% of salespeople make 3 contacts or more, and then 10% don't ever make, 10% of the salespeople make more than 3 contacts and then they stop. So you can see well, the next slide, you'll see how important follow-up is. Okay? Here's where it is. 2% of the sales are made after the first contact. 3% are made after the second contact. 5% of sales are made after the third contact. 10% of the sales are made after the fourth contact. 80% of the sales are made after the fifth contact to the 12th contact.
Wow.
So that's the part about the follow-up. That if you're not doing this, if you don't have a plan, your people are gonna find somebody else. I'll share a quick story that I went on a listing appointment, I think it was in October of 2020. And they did not want to do anything then, wasn't the right time. She was a cold lead, and we'll talk about when to follow up in a second. She was a cold lead to me. I have talked to her every single month since 2020. Every month I reach out to her, and she called me, it was right before I was going somewhere. I don't remember where I was going. Oh, down to Florida. And I went, she goes, it's time. It's time. We're ready to sell.
So what were you saying to her every month?
So I'll get to that.
Wow.
So, and she's a buy sell. So her house is gonna sell for the 450, she's gonna buy for 800. If I did not follow up with her since 2020, she would have found somebody else. She's got babies now, she's got a new environment that she's hanging out with. How many agents are out there that she could have called when the time is right? Because they're gonna find somebody when the time is right for them. So.
Jason called it, be there when the yes happens.
Be there when the yes. I like that.
It's not mine, it's
Okay.
Jason's.
You did say Jason. These are just some real quick things about having a plan. You need to have a strategy and stick to it. Here's another story. I love the stories about a coaching client that I had a while back when I first started coaching people. She had a client that she thought she was in contact with, and she wasn't in close contact as much as she thought, because the person, and she wasn't following a system. She just randomly is like, oh, maybe I should call Jimmy John or whatever. And all of a sudden, this buyer that she had, that she thought she was in close contact with, called a land sign, those big signs, you know, called the agent off the sign. That agent got the buy sell because she never followed up. She thought that client was going to call her. We've been friends forever, whatever. He called the sign. Again, she had no clue until later. She was devastated. First of all, because she didn't have a touch plan, a follow-up system. You trusted him, but you weren't top of mind. That sign was top of mind, not her. So this is a true story. I'm not telling, if you coach with me, you may have heard it. Anyway, you have to have a plan and stick to it. Fortune is in the follow-up. Consistency is king in this. And sometimes when we lead generate, we don't always need to be looking for new business. You need new business, but you probably have so many people in your database that you just need to find them. You need to find them and put a follow-up plan with them, because you probably forgot them if you're not on a systematic way of touching and talking to them. So if you're lead generating and you're trying to do 2 hours a day, 45 minutes or whatever, include time to go back to your database and then like label these people 1 through 10. What that means is, I think I described that right, 10 months out, 1 month out, 2 months out, and then tag them that way and use them as your follow-up plan, which we're going to next, okay? So here we go. Who do we follow up with? Anybody that you think is going to be transacting with you and they're tagged with lead stages. Okay, we're going to go to that next. When all the lead stages have a specific day and time of the month, they should be called. So depending on depending on what lead stage is, the different kind of follow-up you're going to give them. And you repeat this every single week and every single month as you move them through the pipeline from a 10 or a cold or a C, moving them all up to A's. And you can tag this in your opportunities in command, as well as tagging them per client, right? Yeah.
So obviously you wouldn't be doing this to people you're friends with, in a sense. You'd be like, we're friends, stop calling me so much.
Well, your D2 is your follow-up to those people. These are follow-ups to people that want to transact and people that may say, I'm out a year.
You're right. in the
don't,
future.
yeah, like,
Remember, your friends have
we're
friends.
getting.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
remember
Yeah,
your tag.
You're not just talking to them, you're talking
Yeah.
to them and
Yeah.
their friends.
Cause you want the referrals, you wanna drop off referral
Absolutely.
gifts and all that. Okay, so here's who, what, where, and when. If you have a hot lead, an A, a 1, so the 1 is anybody that's gonna be doing something in the next 30 days. Right, oh, it says it right there. Twice a week. Should be contacted. These are people that are ready, like 30 days from now. You should be on them like crazy, okay? If you don't even have anything to say, that you call them on Monday and Thursday rolls around and you don't have anything to say, make something up. Say, I've looked at the search, I didn't see anything new coming up today, but I got my eyes on it. Then you give it time, wait till Monday, talk to them again, okay? Because they're ready. They're ready to go. I call these leads, they're leads that are gonna be anywhere from 30 days to 6 months out. You can call them Bs, you can call them 2 through 4s. That's 2 months to 4 months. You should be talking to them twice a month, the 10th and the 25th. Come up with something to say to them, y'all. Even if it was, I was driving past your neighborhood and you came to my mind. How, are you still loving the house? Is it still great? Is it still awesome? Whatever. Come up with something. Even if you don't make a phone call to them, even if you text them, even if you were to, I don't even know. Send them an email, whatever. They're already getting all your other stuff, but these are specific people that are 30 to 180 days out. Okay. Then you have your cold leads. This is like the lady that I talked to all this time since 2020. She was tagged as a cold lead. Or Cs, or your 5 through 10s. This is month 5 through 10 months out. These are anybody that's waiting past 6 months. You call them once a month on the 15th. So that is the people that Michelle, who wasn't ready back then, every single month on the 15th. Now, if your deadlines fall on a Saturday or Sunday, I usually encourage you to do the Friday, or it's about planning. You got to know this is coming. You do this enough, you already know what's ahead of you. Is to do it on the Friday or the Monday before. I try not to have y'all work. Don't work weekends if you, don't let your clients know you're working the weekends. Okay, so that's on the 15th of every month. Michelle, I called every single month since 2020, just checking in. How are those new babies? How's it going? I even said it, I'm like, you know what? I don't know when you're ready, but there's nothing for sale in your neighborhood right now. Went into MLS, whatever times right now, you're sitting in a pretty place. Done. Even if she never responded to me. Okay. If you have any active pending clients, this is part of the follow-up program, you should be talking to them once a week. Even if you have a stale listing, you should be talking to them every single week, regardless of what you have to share. Okay?
You have to tell them their neighbor across the street's under contract. I had to do that yesterday.
Okay, there you go. But at least they know you got the eye on the market and what's going on in the neighborhood. Whoop, too fast. Okay, so. Yeah, okay. So here's some of the ways, some of the tricks and the trades that you can use to help you be consistent with this. So you can have digital tools and apps like your calendar, your command, or your follow-up boss, or whatever you're using. There are some, I printed them, I thought it was kind of cool. There are some task management apps that you can use. And Justin's probably like, I know this. Trello, there's one called Asana. There's one called Monday.com. These are all different task management tools if you don't want to use command or you feel like you need more reminders. You can have note-taking apps that will help you with reminders on that. And there are some examples of those are going to be Evernote, OneNote, Notion. You can do reminders through your phone, which syncs to your Google Tasks, which syncs to your calendars. Email based reminders. This is how I set mine up. All of my tasks are in command, but I also have all of my reminders every single day and every single week on repeat of who I'm supposed to be calling in my calendar. So it comes to me as an email. And if you've ever taken a class from me before, you know that I don't like the red bubbles on my phone. So if there's a notification, it's going to make me insane. But I will not take that off. I will not take this reminder off to call DTD2 on a Monday, T and J, until I complete it. So it sits there and nags at me. Nags. So you can do like email-based reminders to get that done. There's phone and there's all kinds, y'all are probably way techier than I am anyway.
No, I want to grow up to be just like you and have no bubbles.
Oh, there probably is no bubbles. And y'all, get this. There's no, oh, Bob's in the class. Bob's in it. I just learned of this new way to redo my email. It's insane. Okay, so I redid my email to where nothing comes to my inbox. It goes to folders, okay? Folders,
I love that.
but it's set to go to these folders that don't appear until I want them to.
Oh, can you teach a class on that, please?
So it's filters, but there's a way to filter it so where you can't see any notification
Oh, I love that.
until you want to see the
You
notification.
can also send it to trash can.
I'm
Where did you
scared to
learn
do
that?
that.
Yeah.
You know what? I've done this now for a week or so, just to test it, and I was scared to death. I cannot tell you, I don't even know what emails I'm missing
How'd you learn that? How'd you do
through a
that?
book that we're reading.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's really kind of crazy. The book is called Buy Back Your Time,
Okay.
is what the book is
It's
called.
really
Add that to my collection.
Yeah, it's really good, but because I would always get up in the morning and I would want to look at my emails and I'm looking at Ulta, I'm looking at Southern Living, I'm looking at, whatever, Kirkland and all the fun little stuff I want to do. And it was taking up so much of my time and I'm like, okay, then I'm already behind, but they're all filtered to one I can't see until I'm ready to see it. Pretty cool. And it's called Fun and Free Time. That's where all those emails go. So, okay, so back to this, you have, personalized follow-ups, which is what we're talking about. Something that's really working well right now for a lot of people is taking snapshots of the RPR reports. And, do you know what the RPR reports are?
No,
What?
you talking about FMLS reports?
No, those are from NAR. They're the
Oh,
RPR
RPR, yes,
reports.
okay,
John, you know
sorry.
what RPR is. So it's basically like little mini reports of their property. And on the front page, I mean, it takes like 2 seconds to pull it up. On the front page is the value and the picture of their house. You're screenshotting it. You're not taking the whole report and emailing it. You're just screenshotting the front page and your email or you're texting them part of your follow-up plan. These could be your 30-day people, your cold leads that this is your 15th touch to them. I just happen to be looking in your neighborhood and look at the value of your house. And it's just a picture of what their value is. Now, if it goes down, don't send it.
Where did you say we can find the RPR?
RPR reports are under, they're under NAR.
And
You
are
should-
they
you should
pulled
be
from
getting it.
tax
Get it through,
reports, or where are they pulling the
Yeah.
data?
You can access.
Or to MLS, I think.
I think they get them for either Georgia or FMLS.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those, but it's
It's also
moving on.
it's to NAR
Oh, I like that.
after it goes along.
Georgia.
Yeah. So this is working really well for people to get feedback and thank you. Oh my gosh, I didn't know my house was valued at that.
So what are you doing on that? You're just taking a snap,
Screenshot, like what.
so
I
you
was
just look
doing
up their property,
before-
and pull the screenshot up.
Yeah, so what I was doing before was emailing them. Now, this is part of the personalized follow-up. You're doing something personally to them. So, so before you can do a mini report, which is still 12 pages, but I would email it to them and it's really nice, y'all. It looks like you went through a lot of trouble to pull this report for people. But instead of taking the time and doing it faster, you just screenshot the first page, which has got all the information on it about their house, and then you can follow that up even more, like, did you get my screenshot? I would love to see me the full report.
Yeah, anyway.
If you're interested in seeing what else is going
Another
on,
touch.
and there's another touch.
Have you felt like the value was close? Have you looked at them?
Oh, only one I've seen has gone down, and I didn't send them. I was afraid to send.
There's an app for the RPR stuff.
Oh, is there?
So you can literally just go in, pull it up. Like I've got one that I pull up and it just brings up like a report for a listing owner.
And that's on NAR?
It's NAR RPR.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it.
you with, I think you use your Georgia,
Because I put way too much time.
Georgia
in there.
MLS login, I think, to get in, or you sign up, I don't know, but. Anyway, this has been this has been working really well, so it's free.
Love that.
You get that access anyway. So start doing that. Follow a DTD2 program, follow the cold leads, the hot leads. Use this as a touch program because people are really liking this, y'all. And then you have all kinds of virtual assistants. You got Siri that can help remind you, Google Assistant, Alexa. They can all be voice reminders. I was in a top mastermind class yesterday and tech was one of the questions, and the question was like, how are you using AI in your business? And this one girl, I mean, she would be amazing to come talk to the office, but she was like this over my head. I was like, oh. She is using AI in everything, everything, lead generation, dates, her calendar, AI is running it.
Who is that?
I know.
You may know, she always wears a green leather coat. I will tell you who that is. She is out of, not Augusta, not, no, it's the other, it's East Side, somewhere over there. Anyway, so crazy. I was like,
Wow.
so anyway, it would be like a basic and an advanced.
Okay.
So anyway, so AI, use this, because there's, and she did say, don't ever use the, you said, I think.
Gemini,
Well, no,
Oh.
don't use the free version,
oh, the free
which
version.
is what I have.
Yeah.
Because I'm too cheap. Okay, so command, we all know command has task, also use the opportunities to track the
Yeah.
stages.
And
Right,
Record, you have the paid.
right, you have to pay.
Okay,
You have the paid version of Gemini
Of Gemini.
through your Keller Williams account. Like, go to Google Gemini,
mhm.
and you have the paid version of the AI.
Everybody, any more than me going and Google ChatGPT and hitting enter?
Instead of typing ChatGPT, type Google Gemini.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'll bring up, it looks exactly the same as ChatGPT, except it's the paid version, which is
And it goes,
100.
blows my mind.
It's amazing.
I
And
can't,
you're already paying for it,
Okay.
so you have access to
I
that.
already tried accessing it, doesn't
Okay.
work.
It's so funny, you can tell now what agents are
Accessing it
using,
Right.
are using that in their descriptions.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
you could
know.
totally
You
tell.
guys- you guys know the version?
Gemini.
Gemini.
You can also, if you don't know this, get back on, out of AI, because that's not my
Use
forte.
I'm gonna use my kid as an account, 'cause I'm-
Is that I encourage people to put their clients in the opportunities. Some people say put your clients in right away. I don't put my clients in opportunities, right away until I know they're ready to do something, because I don't want to junk up my opportunity stages. But you can put them in there and flow through, and you can create different stages in the opportunity. I change every quarter I go in and I change my percentages of the opportunity to where that person is gonna transact, how much money you're gonna make by quarter, because of the way the market is. Does that make sense?
You can just keep them and cultivate, I guess.
You can keep them and cultivate, yeah, and then, but the percentage would be zero, most
Oh.
likely, unless you
Oh,
put a
okay,
percentage
gotta
to
move it
that.
active.
But that will help you have another way of following up if you want to go into your opportunities and see who you have under active showing. And that is a 15% possibility of closing. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I change the percentages every quarter. So, because you know, in the winter, it's usually less. So if you have somebody in cultivate, the chances of them transacting by the end of the year is probably lower. So, okay, so that's another tip that Justin can do that. Okay, so here's more, types of follow-ups that you can do. Email follow-ups, phone call follow-ups, text, WhatsApp follow-ups, LinkedIn or social media follow-ups. We talked about that. In person, definitely, we know face-to-face and voice-to-voice is the most important. That would be part of your Popeyes, client events, but those are more events and touches, but the follow-ups are after those things. So if you're dropping off something to somebody as one of your advocates, you really should, hopefully they'll follow up with you, but you need to follow up with them too. So following up that activity. Automated follow-up, which we know if you have task or automatic reminders or whatever, the best thing that Command did was take a task and let you put it on recurring, so that you could do that every quarter. Personalized home evaluations, we talked a little bit about that with those RPR reports. So there's a ton of tools that you can do, as to give value when you're following up with these people. So, let me see if there was any more, anything else up here. Drop eyes, industry events, share those events if you feel like there's something important in the community that you serve. Share those events, like if something was your co-op and you're involved in this area, share those events to your, to the people, follow up with them using those. Coffee, lunch, of course, email, chat, I think that's it on those. So is there any type of follow-ups that anybody else uses that's working for them that they want to share? You're having I mean, if it's not systematic, you got to be following up with them some way. Is there anything you're doing or sharing or?
I mean, I'm still using Jordan's schedule, which is kind of some of the stuff you have.
Some of it's deviated a little
But you're
bit.
doing a lot more.
Mhm.
And what I have not done, and this is what I wrote on my notes here, is calendar this stuff. You're calendaring this stuff at the beginning,
Yes.
which is really the way to do
I'll add that.
it.
I bought a calendar that has the whole year that I can look at. It's behind my office door and put everything on it for the whole year so I can see, like, really plan 6 months ahead. And that has made a big difference just from how we schedule stuff in the office. Much less.
Having that plan ahead of time is the part of not making you stress and be scrambling and forget and not do it. If it's on your plan and you can see it that far in advance, it's gonna be so much better.
When you've been putting your stuff for your week,
What?
when you've been putting this stuff on your computer for your following week.
What's on rotate? So like every month, like this is just for instance, these are emails that come to me for tasks I've set up in my Gmail. So every Monday I'll get the DTD2 of the week. I'll go check my tasks that I have set up in Command. This is the coaching email. I get my birthday cards all set up for the week. I write them on Mondays for the whole week and strategically mail them when they go out. But this comes to me every Monday as an email.
Are you using Google Calendars for that?
Mhm.
Okay.
So then look, on the 21st, there's a monthly email reminder. I'm supposed to be doing a video on that Wednesday. I'm supposed to be doing 5 expireds. So every single week, bye Melissa, this comes to me in
If I
email.
buy you some wine, can we sit down and talk about
That
that?
is 100% yes. Yes, my tooth is back. Okay, so here's the last of it. Consistency over intensity is where you have to be. Be consistent. Don't be trying to be all crazy about it. Have a plan, be consistent. The other part about this is say no to any of the shiny objects. There's a quote in here from Gary Keller in Shift about the importance of blocking the time to do it. If you don't block the time, if you don't have a system and don't block the time, you'll never have the follow-up behind it. And then you're wasting your money, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your stamps, you're wasting whatever.
No,
Okay.
Gary did say that when you are working with what he said in trying to work with your leads, not actually making phone calls, that's still lead generating. That's what he would say. Is that,
I got distracted. She wanted me to go back on a slide. Sorry,
Or he
it doesn't
said
take
just
much.
set
It's
aside-
shiny objects that
set
hit me.
aside time for working, to work your leads is still lead generating. It's still in that 3-hour window.
Because here you go, Sean, you're one step ahead of me. Look, pick the tasks that are the hardest for you to do first and put those in the first of your block. Working on your business is a priority over in your business. So anything, Legion, follow-up, postcard, well, not really postcards, but anything that is going to bring you business is on your business. Okay, so if you're lead gen and following up and call, that is your lead gen time, because you're working on finding business for yourself. Okay, we all know that we spend more of our time working in your business. You have to time block the stuff to generate the money and generate the leads and keep your people. So there's no magic number or time for lead generating. What I try to teach people that I work with is that do 45 minutes. It is a proven thing. I forgot what it's called, starts with P. 45 minutes on, 15 off, 45 minutes on, 15 off, 45 minutes on, 15 off. And then write down what you're gonna do in those 45-minute blocks. Am I gonna lead generate? 45 minutes. Am I gonna follow up? 45 minutes. Am I gonna do what?
It's like the Jeff Galloway method, if anyone knows who he is. He's the guy who basically started the Peachtree Road Race thing. It's the run walk method. You know,
Oh.
take your 45 minutes on and then take 50 minutes to go,
Right.
walk, take a break.
Yeah.
And then 45 minutes to run, walk, take a break, it's the same.
Right.
And it works very well.
And I think it was strategic. It starts with a P. So I forget what it's called. You could Google it, but, or chat GPT it. You could, it's the way that your brain function with attention. Like your brain only gives 45 minutes and then you start to sway off and think of other things. So the 45 minutes is the limit to where you can be very intense and very focused on a task. And then after 45 minutes, you start thinking of other things. Oh my God, I gotta go do my laundry. Oh my God, I gotta do whatever.
My problem is that I got 15 minutes of real brain time and then 45 minutes of squirrel chase. I gotta stop chasing squirrels.
Bob, that's a you problem.
I know it is. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come if you do this. So all I'm asking and sharing is to have a system with your have a follow-up with all those people that you're reaching out to. Why are you gonna do DT, for 2 hours a day and not follow up with these people if they're engaging with you? And then set time aside. Coaching people, that is the hardest thing to get people to do, is to set the time aside. And they're like, oh, I'm so busy, I've been crazy, it's the craziest week. And none of this got completed. So that's the time blocking part about it. So, all right, y'all, we're over.
Thank you so
Wow.
much.
I hope that you got
Yes.
enough. I wouldn't have had enough just to talk about follow-up. but-
Thank you.
John, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was so great.
And I have a question. If we just curious. So for somebody in the room, we have top 8, producers, brand new, day one, if you know today, going back to day one, what would you do differently?
I would tag all my others. I would get them in a database first,
Get everybody in there.
because
tag
I
them.
went like 7 years without having a database.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
Tag them and then start.
Tag them,
with
and
TD.
then I would just start with the call. I mean, just start touching, reaching out with calls, that's it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Because some people don't have the budgets, or they don't have the leverage, they don't have the time to do some of the other stuff, but is get them in a database, tag them, and call them once a quarter.
Is there some way for us to go back like 6 years and make sure I didn't miss a name, like from a sale or something, like from the address, like 6 years addresses?
In command?
I'm asking, I mean, just in general, like.
You can go
I've been
back
in
a
this
pretty long
office.
way in all opportunities. If you go into all opportunities.
Oh, it was, I think it's there, Bob, I think
You
you're
can-
right.
You can go back a long way.
Yeah,
Because I've actually looked people up.
yeah.
I mean,
Another way to
back
do it,
as far as you can get.
yeah, another way to do it too, Bob, is on the my KW.
Yeah.
mykw.kw.com.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
to
you're
the
talking about that.
reports, and you
Yes.
can go pull your detailed report. And I can show you that. I don't know how to do it, but you
Internet,
can
you're talking
go-
about the internet?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you can go in there and pull reports, it's up by your name, pull reports, associate reports, and then it'll give you your multi-year.
That's in your multi-year trends, right?
The better way to do it would probably be this way, because you can search people you want.
Oh, that's excellent. I
You
didn't
can
know.
search by address, you can search by
No, I
people,
don't.
we did it 2 opportunities instead of going to the
Before
floor.
it goes back and touch certain.
Like if you're like, oh my God, what was the name
I've
of
got,
that guy?
because we've changed so many different CRMs now. So we had,
All your old
I forget what it was at first. Well, I had top producer
Yeah.
first, then it was EH, then it was something else, then it was something else, then it was something else. Now we got command.
My
It's
whole
got old
life.
stuff.
And what I've really gotta do is hire somebody
Way before
that
command.
doesn't mind sitting there doing the
Yeah,
tedious
as far as
task
I
of
know.
looking at my history and then going and finding them in my email folders.
Yeah.
Cause I've got email folders on everyone.
Oh,
You'll have to do it now.
Interesting.
And that's,
Okay, I mean, if I-
the good news is the tools are there.
I don't know if I can do it.
It's